Hello, hello. This is Formula One Fans of America, Season 2, Episode 20, and we've got the full crew back with us. Love it. We're going to go ahead and jump right into We Were Right, We Were Wrong, our normal segment that we can show off with. We're going into our predictions for Azerbaijan. I had Oscar, Lando, Max, Russell, and Leclerc. Obviously, the first two did not pan out. We'll get into that. Fabian had Oscar, Max, Lando, Leclerc, Norris. Fair too. Jay had Max, Charles, George, Hazard. We were missing one of yours. I can't remember who it was though. I actually might have been Science. Might have been the second best We Were Right we've had, because our We Were Right king so far this season is Jay with the Hulkenberg podium prediction, which was wild and my favorite moment of the show this year. Meg had Oscar, Max, Lando, Charles, George. Pretty conservative too, but also not too far off the mark, minus the papayas. And we'll talk about this. Speaking of colors and papaya, I am fuchsia and like 50 shades of red from getting sunburned at the beach and not listening to my girlfriend and wearing sunscreen. So there's a new rule that I must listen and not be stubborn, and I will wear my sunblock because this is painful.
Quick question. Burned on the back of your legs too?
Not on the back, no, just on the front. I was sitting in a beach chair, so the backs are safe. Just the front of me looks ridiculous.
Didn't I yell at you at Spa to wear sunscreen?
Anyways, moving right along. We'll go on to something happier and like the cutest, most sweet thing that I've seen in a very long time. And I love when athletes do this, but our boy Carlos had a unicorn sticker on the back of his helmet at the request of a fan. Meg, I'm going to punch it over to you and let you talk about this, but they had a really beautiful FaceTime chat, and I think that was awesome.
Yeah, so apparently she had a unicorn toy that she submitted to a show to ask for fans to help her name it.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, don't know what name they chose. But Science said that if she drew a picture of it for a sticker, he would wear it. And she did, and he did, on the back of his helmet. And now he can never take it off because clearly it's good luck.
Yeah, Albon named it Sprinkles.
Sprinkles? Of course he did.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Sparkles or Sprinkles, I think. And
he went with Sprinkles.
I would have
went with Sprinkles. And then it was cool because Max called it out in the
cool down room.
Right.
Have y'all actually seen the sticker?
Yeah, it's really freaking
It's
cute.
horrible.
It's fire.
If
it's
he
the smooth and spicy on it. Yeah.
If her family doesn't start selling that, they're missing out on setting her up for life.
I mean, the whole paddock could be wearing them before you know it because of that good luck charm,
Her and Penelope do their
Here's
own
the question.
podcast.
Hold on. Here's the question, though. Was the sticker on his helmet for qualifying?
I think so. I think it was on for the whole weekend.
I was going to say, I think it was on for the whole weekend.
Because he definitely pulled into the wrong pit lane.
Well, honestly, we go into the wrong wall.
But he still did fine.
Yeah, you're great.
I mean, Oscar pulled into the wrong
happens to the best of us. I mean,
Oscar,
yeah.
Everybody kissed the wall, all right? That was a very, very alarming, a little bit aggressive wall. I'm pretty sure that they're gonna put in for some harassment.
Smooch. Yeah.
Because there was a lot of unconsensual touching.
Yeah, on the wall's behalf, it was getting touched going there. I'm still
that wall can cancel a lot of people after this weekend.
Wow. It's consensual touching.
Don't touch me there. That's my no square.
More red flags in my dating life.
Rich, we talked about sharing personal stories. We shouldn't do it. Your
I'm not
therapist.
hearing these stories. Just, a lot of red flags this weekend. Most in qualifying history.
Yeah.
Like
True story.
Albon got one, Hulkenberg,
True story.
Colapinto, Behrman, Leclerc, Oscar. Like, why in the world? Like, this was definitely not Oscar's weekend. I'm looking forward to Conspiracy Corner because I want to hear your guys' thoughts on why he had such an awful weekend. I'm
I
sure
have,
there's
like,
conspiracy
two.
around it.
I
Okay.
have like 2 or 3. All of them
Yeah.
can be connected, and they're my favorite type of conspiracy theories.
What do you guys have for non-conspiracy, but just for why we had so many red flags in quality and in practice,
Oh,
like instance in practice?
That's actually.
That goes into my next point.
I'll let Jay go first, and then I'll kick it over to you. Then
That one's actually easy. Too many people got used to Baku and being able to slam it around the way they have been. These cars are faster and lighter than they were a year and a half ago.
There's also
Yeah.
Or even a year
environmental
ago.
reasons.
Well, I
Mhm.
mean, yeah, it's
it was a
leaves all
slippery
over the
asphalt.
place, dirt, everything like that. But
Well,
Yeah,
it
It
was
just-
actually I did research.
oh god, I'm scared.
Got Googled. Oh
Go for
god, I was
it.
about to say something. We're gonna have to edit this out.
Oh,
Okay.
fuck.
But I Googled it, and Google said it's because of the Jews.
Jesus fuck,
We're
man.
definitely editing that out.
See, I come in with technical reasons. She comes in with
I was not ready.
This is like cloud
was not-
seeding, or why
Okay.
is this the fault of the Jews
I
now?
was not ready.
Felt like saying that. I
Fuck's
thought it would be
sake.
funny. But we're editing that out. Now I'll get into the technical shit. We can
Are we?
unedit.
Are we?
We might just leave it in to get Meg canceled. 3-way split. Let's go.
Anyhow, no. So the reason why it was because like the track was so slippery because there was light rains. It wasn't super hot out, so the asphalt wasn't hot. The tires were having a lot of trouble actually getting up to temperature, and also it was an
Yes.
extremely windy weekend in Baku. So because, like Jay said, the cars are a lot lighter. They were getting completely like blown around the track almost.
And the Jews
So
were
there was-
seeding.
It was
So-
very difficult for the cars to maintain balance and grip because of the track conditions.
True.
Very true.
So
And
that's what I
like,
really Googled.
who was it? Like, I think it might have been Antonelli. Somebody said like the white is like ice, like the white paint was just like ice.
Yeah, but it was new paint for the bus lanes and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And Baku is so heavily trafficked between races that they have to resurface a lot to meet the FIA standards to run the race. So it's
Yeah.
like not very
Good.
predictable.
The FIA has standards.
Yeah,
oxymorons.
Shifting invariably, but yes, they exist.
I was thinking of Vegas a couple of years ago whenever it destroyed Sainz's car.
The
Yeah.
downforce from his underbelly sucked up a manhole cover. Yeah, I was actually just showing that video to somebody
Yeah, it was nuts.
because they asked like, "How does it typically
Forgot
work
about
in
that.
a
And it
street
was the
course?" And I was
updraft.
like, well,
Yeah, the-
there's
The updraft of his floor.
and I was like, "There's problems at times." We had one such problem at Vegas, like that first year. But North America has more races than any other continent, and the United States has more races than any other country. So that was what led me to
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We have more races than any other continent?
yes. We have Canada and Mexico City, and then
Uh,
we have the 3 in our country of Vegas, Miami, and Austin.
hmm.
So no other continent has as many races, and no other country has as many races.
And they say this isn't an American sport.
Exactly.
Right.
We're dominating.
I'd still say bring back Paul Ricard, but that's just me.
So, like,
That was
in
a
addition
video track.
to like poor track conditions, and not really poor, but just sort of like typical and what you would almost expect, there was the spot of rain. I sound British by saying that, but like there was a spot of rain that created some havoc.
There was also oil. Like they were having problems with oil on the track.
That's because
Yeah.
everybody kept crashing.
We'll just call it moisture management. Like,
Moisture management.
Don't ever say those words together again.
I'm
Management.
definitely doing it again. Yeah, there was issues with moisture management this weekend across the track, and it being too wet when and where it wasn't supposed to be, and it created problems for several drivers.
It's because they couldn't get
Piastri
right into the apex of where the needed to be because of all the moisture.
slid
problems.
out of the apex, like couldn't.
So
even
what
find
you're
the
telling me is that Max and Lewis were the only ones that could handle
Found
the
the wall.
wetness and had
Yeah.
perfect.
The wetness guided them into the apex, and everyone else got shut
We're the
out.
only ones that could manage that razor thin margin. F1 is
When it was
about
right in between.
results, and you manage moisture. Leclerc suffered a power unit
This
malfunction.
is the shittiest sex ed class ever taught.
Leclerc had some issues with his power unit. It definitely held him back. Lewis,
Conspiracy.
Lewis.
Conspiracy. Do we believe that? Or
Well, all right, then we'll
I'm saying,
put that
I know that
to
Fred
the segment.
threw that out there, but
Wait,
We'll
hold up.
belay it to the conspiracy segment, though,
okay. I was just curious.
if I may. But yes, okay. But I'm with you on that. Like potential conspiracy with a power unit with Leclerc. Anybody else have anything on this? Like, I think Ferrari's
Ferrari
held
is
up
their own
throughout the season.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ferrari's engines have actually held up this year, especially comparatively
Exactly.
to the Mercedes. Like,
Yep.
That's
With,
why-
like damn near half the grid is running,
Right.
and it has created some issues. We'll also talk about that, and because like that's my conspiracy is that like Piastri might lose it over a Mercedes power unit failure versus his own going to the wall. But again, we'll belay to the conspiracy corner. We're gonna have a long conspiracy corner this week.
Wait. Hold on. Quick question.
Yes, ma'am.
If he sends the car into the wall and needs like a
Twice.
new engine because of that,
Same.
he still gets
Yeah.
a penalty? Okay.
Yep. It's still
Maybe-
power unit replacement or failure. It doesn't matter if it fails mechanically or if they have to replace it under a crash.
so if they have to replace it under a crash, it's even worse because they're generally going to have to replace everything versus just certain components to reduce the penalty. So
Exactly.
you're talking what 10 grid penalty drop for a whole new setup, I think.
Yeah.
Plus, he's low on exhaust too, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So he might take a 11th place drop because
Yep.
normally they don't run out of exhaust. So that would be interesting.
All right, let's cover these like onesie twosie ones before we move on, because then we're gonna like literally just move into conspiracy corner and talk about it the rest of the time. So like Hajar had like a reported throttle issue. It wasn't like responding correctly.
Yeah, he said it wasn't responding. I think it was just like slow on the uptake.
the
Okay.
pedal wasn't coming back up from what I had heard, like properly.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, still an outstanding like weekend for the Red Bull Enterprise, like both the Prime and Junior team. Like, so like, yeah, no big news there. Good, but good on him. Like, it does keep proving me wrong where I said Antonelli was the only rookie worth a damn. Antonelli did close the door on George
He sure did.
in the first laps and like dropped George back substantially. And then Antonelli drove a fucking hell of a race. George Russell though, like
beautiful pass.
yeah, George is my driver of the week or for the race. Like he performed very, very well, very consistently, just stayed out of his head. And I think he ran it very well this weekend into the podium. So like,
You know-
good on him.
It's because he's a robot.
You know what I find interesting, by the way? 5 of the 7 Red Bull drivers or previous drivers all had points this weekend.
Yeah, I think they know what the hell they're doing over there. You know, I really do. Like, you're right. It shows. Also, Yuki back up in the points, jumped himself out of 19th and into I think 17th place now. just off of one race to jump 2 positions in the standings for the WGC. Like, it does show some validity that like it's been more of the car than it's been Yuki this year.
And
he's just like stuck in a hard position. But when he shows up and performs, he is a true blue F1 driver. So he's
nice actually tied with Pierre.
Yeah, but that's Alpine, and this is like the worst team I think F1's ever seen.
So to be fair,
this year, yeah,
true, yeah. I was gonna say
kick Sauber last year, dude.
They have a podium.
Points. Alpine is still scoring points this year.
Good, you're right and you're fair, but it's because they have 2 good drivers. But that car is dog shit this year.
Mm-hmm.
There's no dancing
do not
around
disagree.
that. Yeah.
Ugh.
All right, we talked about Piastri going to the wall. Let's get into terrible weekends.
Okay, before we go any further here, we're going to talk papaya because this is my new favorite topic this weekend. Just because. I love the fact that everybody's fucking saying that Lando bottled it during qualifying. Did anybody watch the same qualifying that I was? He was literally running that car on the ragged edge of what it could do.
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, oh, he bottled it. No, the other cars just did that well. Like Max, I'm sorry, monster. You're not going to do much.
Yeah, he dominated this weekend. You can't.
He always does at Baku. Like the only person that's better at Baku than him for qualifying, at least, is Leclerc. And I'm sorry, I was watching Lando go around for his lap. I'm like, he is going to lose this car. He is pushing it to the absolute extreme. And to only pull 7th out of that just shows how close and competitive these cars are now. And
sure.
Everybody was saying like McLaren was going to do well at Baku because the way their car is set up. What I want to know is what broke. Because something obviously broke if this was supposed to be a McLaren track.
I think it's a downforce issue, and I think it's a balance issue. I think that's why we saw, like, besides poor tire temperature management from Oscar, he wasn't comfortable with the car, obviously, like crashing out in quali and crashing out in the race on the first lap. I do think that, like, the RB team, both VCarb or RB and Red Bull, is whatever the hell we're calling them now. I do think they are dialed and balanced with their cars. I think it's like clear who's not and can't get it right at this point in the season and is focusing way more on 2026 than they are on this year.
Ferrari.
I think that I think there's a tipping point for all of these teams. Some have publicly stated it, like Ferrari have just came out flat out and said, like,
they did.
Yeah, we're no longer invested in the development of this year's car.
That's correct.
We're gonna finish it out, and we're looking to 2026 and beyond. It doesn't surprise me that
McLaren, though, regarding like updates. So they've made no new updates to the car, but they heavily like practiced on balanced tire management and then improving pit stops, which is wild because their pit stops were terrible this race.
One, they didn't have a chance to pit stop because he binned it. But
I'm talking for both.
Yeah,
when did Oscar take a pit?
Rough.
No, I'm saying like it's the same crew for both. So they did. I'm talking about like the pit stop team.
They have like pit stop teams.
McLaren?
Yes, all teams do. Each driver has his own pit stop team.
Really?
Let me see.
I thought they had the same team.
Unless if that's changed in the past like couple of years. Rich, you remember that? Because I remember they switched around Rosberg and Hamilton's teams.
Yeah,
in order to try to improve relationships, because it was getting to the point that it was like
years ago.
Bad. Yeah.
No, they have one primary pit stop crew.
I was
Oh,
gonna say,
okay.
yeah.
Then that
I
had
think
to
it
have
is
changed.
changed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But no, like
apologize,
I
man.
do remember what you're talking about with Hamilton
Yeah.
and Rosberg.
it's
That
20
that was-
individuals.
dude, we're showing our age where that's like I think
Yeah.
15 years ago.
But regardless, like the team is
Oh,
doing.
Mega's
So
on it.
here's the thing: is that McLaren is doing amazing for Oscar. Like in Monza, I think they put out like a 2.2, 2.3 stop, and
Yeah.
then Lando gets gun jammed, and then the same thing happens again this weekend. Like to take a line out of Horner, fix your guns. Like seriously, at this point,
Yeah.
I don't know which way is up with this because, like, while I agree to a certain point that if a pit stop error happens, yeah, like it's racing. But whenever it consistently happens, out of
Yeah.
the past 7 races, 5 races, Lando's had a plus 4 second stop compared to Oscar.
Mhm.
That is a statistical
Telling.
anomaly right there. Like,
it's significant to mention and highlight the way that you are because it has impacted race results. You know what I mean? Like to like just hear that it like okay, statistical anomaly 4 seconds, like okay, we could try and rack and stack that against like other teams and differentials between other teammates. But it like I think what's important to highlight is that like pit stops are costing him. And like that's what's really most important here. But yeah, carry on, please.
realistically, the pit stop cost him. No, I wouldn't say it cost him in Spa because I know that was one of the ones where he had a longer pit stop, but his
It
own
did cost
errors
him
were
here.
his errors losing the ass end of that car was what cost him in Spa. But yeah, no, like y'all know how I feel about Lando. I really don't like the kid. I think he's a pompous little asshole. But right now, he is driving the absolute wheels off of that McLaren, and things that are completely outside of his control are what's preventing him from being number 1 in the WBC right now. Like, I mean, I know y'all are on Oscar's jock, but I'm sorry. I think Lando's the better driver this year.
Yeah, I mean,
Conspiracy corner?
he's had some bad DNFs that have kept him out. But he is far more consistent. I think he's getting the mental monkey off his back. I think
Yeah, he's been really
far
quiet
better
recently.
job. I think he's doing a better job of handling, managing, responding to pressure. We talked about it at length last season of just his like mental capacity and ability and the way that he responds to pressure. And it wasn't ideal, you know, but forgive the young man, you know, your frontal lobe doesn't develop until you're 25. And then even then you're still going to make a shit ton of mistakes.
Well, I think
An
also
ADHD
like
dude.
I
He's
think
like
statistically
35.
too, men.
And so,
men's
yeah, if you're ADHD or
development-
neurodivergent, then it's 35 years old. And so his frontal lobe is still probably not fully developed.
Besides, all the rattling in that helmet probably doesn't help.
See, I thought his hair
it-
helped with that.
well, and that's where we give him the gift of grace because
Spin,
it's
spin.
like he's managing it better than I think 99.99999% of the population ever could, and is like bred and born to be where he's at and where he needs to be, and is doing very well. He's just got to come over the hump. But it looks like he does. So terrible weekend for Ferrari, terrible for McLaren, terrible for Aston Martin. Like that sucked.
I kind of feel like every weekend's horrible for Aston Martin right now.
They've had I say
But
we
didn't
like
Alonso
for
say
them,
he was
but
going to retire soon?
No.
he's talking about it. He's talking about retiring, but like
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah,
After
So I think he had a bad
2026.
weekend.
You're saying that 26 may be his last season.
Yeah. And that started
Yeah,
floating around this weekend, right?
Right. That's
Yeah.
So
our-
this is a bad weekend.
Which honestly we all knew was going to happen. Like I think we called that beginning of the season whenever end of last season whenever Newey went over to Aston Martin. I think
Yeah.
me and you actually agreed on something, Rich, which was Max is going to end up over there with Newey.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Fernando does retire. And then if something Max doesn't like is going on at Red Bull, then he'll go over there. I think the
think he'll
Mercedes is
partake in
just a
the-
flash in the pan.
Do you think he'll partake in the tug of wars that are going to happen between Cadillac and Aston Martin factories?
No clue.
That would be fun. Because they're right across the street from each other, aren't they?
Yes,
It's going to be a beautiful time.
they are.
I love it. I'm looking forward to 2026 and beyond. Like, I think there's going to be some awesome shakeups in the standings
I think it's going
for
to
the
be
constructors.
crazy shakeup for sure.
Yeah. So next topic, I care about practice results as much as Allen Iverson cared about practice. Like in that epic speech to the media. Like, all of F1 media gets hyperbolic and so jazzed up and excited about what happens in practice. And it's like, it's just practice. It's practice. It's not the game, not the race. It's practice. Like, we're talking about practice, not the race. Not what they go in and train and almost die for. We're talking about practice.
Mm-hmm.
This
How many
means
times
nothing.
can you say practice in a 5-minute span?
As many as Allen Iverson did.
Yeah.
We're talking about practice. Like, I mean, we're talking about practice, not the race, not qualifying. We're talking about practice. I care as much about practice and posting media and results about it as Allen Iverson cared about it. Like, this is ridiculous to me. It is stupid. It is sensational. It is media at its worst. It's why I don't say anything on our page about practice and its results. We watched Ferrari go 1-2. People get their hopes up. People think like, this is going to be the race. How many fucking times have I seen this like all season long? So-and-so team went 1-2, surprises and shocks everybody. Let's get hyperbolic. Let's like invest in these results. No, the only thing that matters is Saturday in the evening, in the afternoon, and Sunday in the morning and afternoon. Like, it doesn't matter outside of that. And so, like, I'm so sick and tired of media around F1 hyper reacting to the results of practice sessions. We will not participate. Jay, I'll kick it over to you.
So, do we have fun now and go to the conspiracy corner?
I just want to say one thing before we move on.
Oh God!
Please do.
I feel
Otherwise,
like that was...
we are segueing to.
Okay. Well, I feel like that was the rejected speech that Bill Pullman gave in Independence Day.
Independence Day.
We're talking about practice.
Damn.
Not
That's
the
all I
race.
gotta
We're
say.
talking about
That
practice.
got brutal right there.
Damn.
But we're talking about practice.
She even named it the actor. Like, she went all cinephile on that shit.
Bill Pullman for president.
Absolutely.
Can't be any worse. Never mind. I'm shut.
We're talking about practice.
Segue again.
Anyways,
Conspiracy corner, Jay. There he is.
so we've all seen Max throughout this year. We still see the same beast it is, but it seems like he's been laid back a lot. Just observing, seeing where he might go next, whatever. What's funny to me is that he hasn't scored very low since Horner got fired.
Mm-hmm.
Was he tossing it to either A, see how far back he could get and still win the motherfucker, or was he just doing it so he could be like, I can invoke my clause, I can leave Red Bull. It's either Horner or me.
I think it's that one.
I want to believe it's both, actually.
I also
Because
believe part of it
how
has to
bored was
do
he?
with fatherhood.
He's still running that thing ragged, but
No, I'm saying the laid back, because he's also just been laid back outside of racing.
are you kidding
Like
me?
just
Hans Frost?
no, I'm saying like he's doing everything with this sense of like, I don't give a shit. I'm just doing this for fun.
So, because I think it's because he's finally allowed to. And now it's not like the whole authoritative figure saying, no, you can't do this or I'll spank you.
Oh yeah.
You know,
No more 24-hour races
yeah.
on the sim.
But Mekis does not care. He's like, we're gonna listen to Max. We're gonna start because I was listening to something earlier where before Monza, Max made a call and him and Mekis got into it about it. He's like, I don't know how good of a call this is. You know, I don't think it's the right call, but you know what? You can take the responsibility for it if you want to make this call. And Max made it. Look what happened. He did the same thing in Baku, apparently, as well. So I'm thinking Max is more laid back because he's actually allowed to suggest things and they get taken seriously instead of you're just a stupid talent, go drive. And I think that probably puts him in a lot better of a place because he knows that car inside and out. He knows how it's going to move. He knows as much as you can. I mean, I can't think of another driver that has been more in tune with cars and racing in general. I mean, Vettel said it best about him. This dude lives, breathes, and eats racing. That is literally all he does. So, yeah. But as far as trying to see how far back he could get in the points, how bored was he in 23 and 24? You could literally hear it in his voice. Oh, yay, I won again. And now he's got like this magic, like the, not magic, wonder back behind winning. Like he sounds excited about it. So my biggest thing is like, was it really like, okay, cool. I'm going to see how far back I can get and still win this thing. This way, at least it's somewhat of a challenge for me.
I don't know if it was circumstantial or deliberate, but there is something there here, like in between all of it, which is like he still has a valid chance. Like he still has, like, we cannot write Verstappen off of the World Drivers' Championship. Like, no matter what and the reasons why. I do want to kick it over to Fabian because we haven't gotten a lot out of Fabian.
No, that's cool. No, I don't think
Who's
it's any
Fabian?
I don't think it's any of that. And I think it ties very closely back to what we kind of covered a bit in the feature on Mekis. I think the issue was Horner stagnation. I think that Horner became too big a factor, too big a figure. He wanted too much credit and too much control. I don't think that he actually respected Max's technical aspects as much as he should have. They said, and it was proven, and part of the reason why I knew he left was because of the way development went after he, designed the car, right? That he designed for them. It was all driven by Horner. All of the way the development went was driven by Horner. Horner leaves, and the first thing that Max says publicly is, I like the fact that I can speak to him like an engineer. There's an engineering mindset. So we can speak that. That's not how it went with Horner. Horner relied very heavily on sim data, primarily for development. And Max is telling these guys things like, this isn't what the sim would say is optimal, but based upon how the car feels, do that. And I'll drive around that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's happening. And he's extracting performance out of the car that he wouldn't be able to get if it was set up the way Horner would direct it to be ultimately set up. And I think that's where the big switch has flipped in this scenario. And it correlates specifically with the departure of Christian Horner. It just does. Not to say that Horner wasn't a good team principal. I mean, guy won. He was a winner. But there was some stagnation. They got rid of that stagnation. That sparked some new juice and fluids and moisture in the Red Bull environment. and therefore, well, but you see my point. I mean, truthfully, like there's just an infusion of new stuff happening, and all of a sudden Max has got the opportunity to do things with the car that he couldn't do, and he's doing it, and he's getting results. Now, can he do that for 7 more races? Because there are 7 more races. Could he do that? It's possible, likely. I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be fun to watch. That's for sure. Because if this momentum really is driven by this change in leadership, and Max is able to win out the next 7 races, and McLaren does anything similar to what they've done over the next 7 races 2 or 3 times, this whole thing is going to turn on its head, and it's going to be the greatest comeback story in, this generation.
I consistently talk to people about Formula One, and just because the fact that I do this show comes up a lot, but a lot of negative feedback that comes around is that it's like kind of routine or dominant by either a driver or team. And so it's like too predictable. So it was like Verstappen is going to win every single weekend, but we're not there right now. This is when I tell people, like, no, get excited, because it's not a guarantee anymore. It's not guaranteed that Piastri is going to win the WDC. Like, Lando's nipping at his heels. One more DNF and he's out. 2 more DNFs and Verstappen's in the conversation heavily. Like,
it doesn't even have to be 2 DNFs, bro.
I know, and we're in conspiracy corner. I write it off in those terms because that's the easiest route for it to go.
You said
but
2
Jay,
more DNFs, he's heavily in contention, right?
But Jay, go ahead, because I know that there's a points total that could actually be a lot more realistic than 2 DNFs. Being that he got his first one in the first 2/3 of the season, and there's only 7 races left. I don't anticipate him getting another DNF, but I'm not writing it off because there's a points path, and I want you to talk about that.
So here's the biggest thing, is that Max does not have to win out. And that's what I think everybody is sitting there looking at, that he needs to win out. He needs to win out. Really what needs to happen is Oscar and Lando keep splitting points, and Max just stays steady in second. If it comes down to it, like whenever he loses a race, he just has to be in second. And the total points that come out are absolutely insane. It's 416 Verstappen, 411 for Piastri, and for Lando. And if that happens, holy shit, there's going to be riots, because everybody's going to look at, oh, well, what happened with that 6-point swing in Monza? Look what happened. Oscar couldn't do anything now, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, but no, there's, with Oscar and Lando both finishing as shitty as they did, there is a lot of possibilities now. Because would Lando get like 6 points, I think? Meg, 6 points?
For what? What do you mean? Which race?
What is it? This race, Baku.
I thought it was 4.
I think I got 6.
Oh, Lando for placing 8th?
7th.
7th, bro.
7th, sorry. He qualified 8th and finished 7th.
I think he qualified 7th and finished 7th.
He qualified 7th and finished 7th.
Noted. Yeah. All right. So kind of a 0-sum weekend, and yeah, terrible weekend for McLaren.
So yeah, he got 6.
I was wrong 6 points.
Yeah. So in the table that I have, Max needed 25 this weekend, Piastri 6, Norris 12 in order for my totals to happen. Norris only got 6, Piastri got 0. That means a lot more scenarios open up and everything else. Like, there's a lot of things that can happen. Oscar can even still win and take second in a couple of the races, and still Max is going to be Thanos. He is inevitable. Simple as that. Like, you can't get him out of that conversation until probably Qatar, maybe. So, I don't know.
Yeah, honestly, not until the later races of the season. It's definitely heightening the tension. I don't know if this is any kind of FIA chicanery, but like it just does seem to play out where there's a dramatic end to the season every single year. Wow. My friend who doesn't watch a lot of F1 asked me, like, do teams normally finish like side by side or like with each other? I said, no, that's actually pretty anomalous. But they did seem to be very close within one or two positions of each other each place this weekend. I was like, that's just because this has been a wild ass weekend with this track. Yeah. It's very similar to Monaco, where and I do believe it has the tightest like turn of any street course or any course period. Yeah, where I have my conspiracy corner topic. Actually, I'm going to shift gears very rapidly. Why did Oscar crash?
I have a theory. I have a really good theory.
I have a theory. I want to pose a question. I want to hear what you guys' thoughts are. Why did Oscar crash out?
Body snatchers.
Okay.
Too young.
Or like he was abducted by aliens, and like you can buy an experience where like, hey, you want to drive an F1 car? We'll put your soul into an F1 driver's body, and they're like, oh fuck, and just immediately crash.
Fabian, your turn.
I told you it was unfounded.
It's fair. Yeah. Okay. Fabian, why did Oscar crash out? Conspiracy.
Well, I mean, I'm going to take the practical, realistic view of it because Meg would always outdo me on anything else anyway. So why try to? I don't want to try to even play in her lane. She's too good at it. I think that he was distracted because of the way the race started. I think the mistakes made at the beginning of the race took his focus off on what was the driest line to take, and between lack of focus, speed, and not being in the right spot, he just caught it perfectly wrong. And there was nothing he could do. He was a passenger in that moment, and that was the end of it. And that doesn't bode well for the next race for him. This is a guy that I have said is the god, is the godfather of F1, the Michael Corleone of F1, right? And here we are in a moment where we're towards the latter part of the season. He has this kind of a foible, and now you're going to Marina Bay. It's Singapore, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got tight corners, you got close walls, you got, cooling system issues, driver endurance issues, you've high downforce demand, you got mechanical grip, you've got all this going on. So this is going to be almost a deja vu situation for him. So this is where we get to see just how steely he really is, right? Because it would be very easy for anyone under these circumstances with this kind of pressure, and Max winning 2 in a row, that's also got to be dancing around in his brain, right? To really just like come undone, right? I'm probably looking forward to this next race, and that's my second. I only like 2 street circuits really, and it is Baku and Marina Bay. Those are my street circuits that I like. So the fact that they're back to back is amazing this year. The fact that the season is in the condition that it's in right now, and this is what's coming up next, is like, this is probably the most anticipated race of the year for me right now.
Jay, I'm going to kick it over to you because I know you have thoughts on this as well.
So I think something was different with the tires. Like, I forget who said that Oscar cooked them. I don't think he's been comfortable with those tires this weekend at all. And if I'm not mistaken, 3 or 4 of the remaining races coming up are all using that severe soft compound. So buckle up on that one. But just judging by where he was braking whenever he went into the wall, he didn't start braking until like severely out. And he was already, I want to say he was almost in the apex already, wasn't he, Meg?
No, he was like almost past it.
Yeah. Like I
Like
knew it was
it
real.
was like he didn't even try to turn at all. He just was like, fuck it, I'm going straight.
Maybe he was trying to take out Lando.
That would have been fun. I would have enjoyed that. I didn't think that while this did have a lot of chaos, I think they could have added more chaos and it would have been like the best.
I mean, there's always room for chaos.
Yeah, there was no flamethrowers.
Sadly. And no Checo bending it into the wall on the last 3 laps.
Or the first one.
I was
Oh
kind
my
of
God.
disappointed. After qualification, I was kind of disappointed. But
I do
no,
think
like,
that this whole weekend, because like during qualifying, he was kissing the wall a lot. Like it was literally
it was a matter of time.
Yeah, it really was, because it was literally like every single lap it was getting just closer and closer and closer, and then just
Was Russell, like, yeah, to draw back to it, Russell handled it masterfully. Like, to keep, he drove every inch of the track, and like that was why he did it. Showed some glaring mistakes in the Mercedes, but Antonelli was able to climb back up through the position. So
he raced
Mercedes,
beautifully too.
yeah, Mercedes, it was a winner in my book on this track. I do think that you're onto something, that like this is going to be deja vu for Piastri, and we're going to see and like test the fallibility of his mentals. Yeah, it's
Find out
going
if
to
he's
come out.
Checo or Kimi.
Yeah, that's a really good one. Let's talk about conspiracies for Singapore.
You mean predictions?
Conspiracy predictions.
I was
I
gonna say,
give you
conspiracy,
conspiracies, they
something
will-
already happened in Singapore.
I glanced at my notes very
yeah.
quickly and conjured that one up. Let's talk about our bold predictions for Singapore. So, top 5 on the grid. Meg, we'll start with you.
Hooray. I think in the top 5, definitely going to be Max. I'm hoping Oscar. With the way Lando is driving the car and McLaren hopefully getting their pit stops together, I think Lando will definitely be on the podium. Don't shake your head at me, Jay.
I'm saying
And then,
stops, that's all.
huh?
I was just saying about the pit stops, that's all.
Oh, yeah. We can hope. Okay, for the other 2, honestly, probably George. And quite honestly, I'd love it if Sainz was on podium again too, with his adorable little unicorn.
Isn't that where isn't that where the smooth operator thing first came from too?
I think so.
Because he was using someone's DRS
Yeah.
and was keeping Russell behind him, and then Russell bended into the wall on like the final corner of the race, which was great.
He's a smooth operator.
Jay, your predictions?
Oh, balls.
I don't think that's an option.
Lies.
Now let's fuckface.
I'm gonna hurt myself here really bad because of that one right there. Max, Lando, Russell, Lawson.
Ugh.
I said I was gonna hurt myself. And to finish it off, Yuki.
It was Max, Lando, Russell, Lawson, Yuki.
Yeah.
Singapore is usually a dry track, right?
Yeah. And it's also one of the hottest and most draining of the season.
Yeah.
Is it a 1 or a 2 stop? I can't remember, Fabian.
I think it's a 2-stop. You're on mute, Fabian.
My apologies. I believe it's a 2-stop.
That's what I thought. So McLaren has 2 chances to bottle it for Lando?
I believe it is.
Yeah, but technically for the entire team, they have 4.
Yeah, but they seem to not like Lando, so.
How did we not talk about this like in conspiracy corner?
What?
McLaren
pit
might
stop
be
thing?
purposely sabotaging Lando.
I don't think it's.
You're going to say you don't think it's purposely? They're just that
kind of.
naturally on top of it?
So, I mean, if you look at the team throughout the past couple of years, they've normally been inept in one portion of the racecraft, whether it be the car or the pit stops or the other driver or both drivers or whatever it may be. They've always had some piece missing, and I definitely think that maybe that piece missing this year is the pit stops. Now, the better question is when is it going to come full circle and fuck Oscar?
So
Probably
technically,
next race.
it's a 1-stopper, but because of degradation,
Yeah,
it's often been a 2-stopper.
yeah, that's what I thought.
That's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, interesting stuff.
Wait, didn't George last year like
That was the year before.
that was no, didn't he have a race last year where he like pushed the tires well?
That was Spa. And that,
Yeah, he got underweight
he-
for that one.
Yeah, he was underweight over that one. And then Lewis
thought-
won that. He was DQ'd that.
Yep. I thought you were going to ask about the time that, Sainz made Russell bin it into the corner because he frustrated Russell so badly.
Can you imagine having that much power to piss someone off that much that they just drive into a wall?
Yeah. You know what else we forgot to talk about, guys?
What's that?
The fact that Lawson kept Yuki and
I don't wanna
Lando behind him
Without
no
putting
DRS.
iPods?
without that too, but with no DRS. There was
Stupid hair.
no-
Great driving defense.
Yeah.
That dude
Like-
knows how to drive defensively. Nothing
for
but props
him,
on that. Yeah, for real. Fabian, who do you got for
So
your Singapore?
So back to my Singapore soliloquy. Singapore is known to be Red Bull's litmus test, literally. It's the thing that exposes what's wrong with their car or highlights what's good about it every season that they've run there. So with that being the case and seeing what's been done so far, I'm definitely going to have Max on the podium. I don't necessarily have him winning this race. I'm going to have Piastri. I'm going to have Antonelli, Leclerc, and then Norris.
I like it. Good predictions. We've got a good range over here. Yeah. I'm hoping for Sainz in the top 5 again. And I think I'm with everybody on that. Hey guys, great episode. We're going to have a little bit of a break, but we should still be recording next week. We'll do some off-season, out-of-season topics. And yeah, this has been Formula One Fans of America, Season 2, Episode 20. Not too bad. All right, we'll see you all next week.